Psychic types, every Gen 1er's favorite type of Pokemon. This type is definitely a fan favorite, and with the ability to hit almost every type for at least neutral damage, this makes Psychic types incredibly useful, until they get hit. With only 2 resistances and some of the worst physical stats in the entire game, they are your classic glass cannon. So I decided to attempt a hardcore Nuzlocke, a Pokemon Emerald, with only Psychic types. When a Pokemon faints, they're dead forever. So with only 13 fully evolved Pokemon at my disposal, and 4 of them being locked to the post game or sharing a route with another Pokemon, this really only leaves you with 9 encounters to beat the entire game. And don't worry, I do plan on battling Steven at the end, so we might even see a fan favorite. Oh, and I guess there is one other Pokemon I forgot to mention, but surely it's not possible to get Jirachi, right? Well, anyways, after battling our rival, we can officially begin the Nuzlocke by catching Frieza the Ralts. And I quickly realized this challenge is going to be much harder than I expected. Frieza doesn't learn an attacking move until level 6, 2 whole levels higher than I caught it at. And since the rules demand that I throw away my fire chicken, we have to get creative. I realized my only option to get experience is to use struggle. So I let Frieza growl its heart out at every Wurmple who will listen. But unfortunately, Frieza gets hurt in the process, and this means I need to heal up. But I also can't use the Pokemon Center at all, or the PP comes back. So I spend all my money on potions and hope it's enough to get Ralts to level 6. After some specific choices of my victims and a little luck, Frieza reaches level 6 and learns Confusion. Whew. Finally, all the grinding is over. Or so I thought. Yeah, Confusion can't hit dark types. And unfortunately for me, there's 2 mandatory trainers with Poochyena before I can face Roxanne. So I grind Frieza as close to the level cap as I can and use every move it has until it's back to struggling. All for some damn Poochyena. I crush youngster Calvin's poorly trained dog and then make my way through Petalburg Woods to face the Team Aqua Grunt. And at this point, Frieza's out for blood and slays the Grunt's Poochyena with ease. After taking my anger out on those dogs, I prepare myself to face a seemingly impossible foe, Roxanne. Frieza knocks her Geodude down to yellow with a single Confusion, but a Rock Tomb takes him low enough to proc my Oranberry, and even lowers my speed. Roxanne decides to heal up, so I'm able to take Geodude out in 2 hits, and thanks to a lucky miss, Frieza takes out her second Geodude without taking any damage. And now the true threat comes out. Nosebleed wastes its turn on block, and Ralts delivers a massive crit, but right when I finally had some hope, it was quickly snuffed out with a single Citrus Berry. I was able to bring it down to red, but it hit through Confusion, killing Frieza. Ah, crap, that means I have to do that all over again? So I started attempt to capture Frieza the second, and while grinding up, I encountered my worst nightmare, a shiny Poochyena. I'm terrified at the sight of this super Poochyena, but Frieza reminds me, a golden monkey is still just a monkey. So I captured the beast and locked it away in the PC so it could rot away for the rest of its days. Yeah, anyways, back to the challenge. It isn't going great. I lost attempt 2 to Roxanne once again, and after this point, I decided to use rare candies because, like a great man once said, grinding is cringe and cheating is based. But even with the ease of leveling up with rare candies, I lost battle after battle. I did get close with some lucky double team strats, but not close enough. After 5 attempts, I felt defeated, and I was honestly ready to give up on this entire challenge. I just didn't feel like I was ever going to be able to beat this. If only there was another Psychic type I could get to help me. One with a good type matchup to face this rock trainer. One that's legendary. No, one that's mythical. That's right, Jirachi. But how? I mean, I'd have to go back in time to get it, right? Well, that's exactly what I did. I sent my squire back in time to go to the Club Nintendo event in 2004, and then he waited until this day so he could trade it to me. I mean, I totally didn't just cheat it in with PK Hex and then make up some weird elaborate story to explain how I got it or anything. So with our event Jirachi a part of the team, we can take on Roxanne one last time. But before that, make sure to subscribe for a free wish from Jirachi. Man, Jirachi made this fight easy. It takes down both her Geodudes while only losing 2 HP. But then Roxanne's Nose Pass comes out, and Jirachi decides to get a little sassy with me. It ends up wasting a turn, but it's just too bulky to matter. The Rock Tomb does almost no damage, and Jirachi ends the battle with a few confusions. So after beating Roxanne and earning our first gym badge, I decided to box Jirachi, but don't worry, I have a feeling we'll need its help in the not so distant future. And before you guys even say anything, I know this challenge is possible without Jirachi, but I already paid for the thumbnail, so get over it. After making it past the hellish early game, things got a lot easier for us. We catch Light the Abra, and by this point you might even be able to tell we have a naming thing going on. Now back to the game. We save an old man's bird, visit his house, and then take a ride on his boat all alone in the ocean. I need an adult.
I am an adult.
So after some trauma, we arrive in Dewford, talk to the final boss, and then take on the second gym. Considering how difficult Roxanne was, I'm not letting my guard down, even if I do have a Kadabra. Oh, we won? Nice. Now with that difficult battle out of the way, we hop on the trauma boat one more time, and then arrive at Slateport City to deliver the goods. And this is where we get TM46, which finally solves our dark type issue. So after my brief encounter with some terrorists, I beat May with ease, and then encounter my second rival. Yeah, it was an easy fight. I mean, Frieza literally beat a child version of himself. And now it's time to face Emerald's early run killer, Wattson. No, not that Wattson, the chubby old guy. With a Voltorb that knows self-destruct and a fully evolved Steel type, what could go wrong? I confidently lead with Light, taking Voltorb out with 2 side beams and even wasting a few heals. His Electric falls to a single hit, but now the scary Magnet monster is out on the field. But Light's able to hit a massive critical hit, bringing it down to yellow. And it even wastes a turn paralyzing itself, thanks to a synchronized Cherry Berry combo. So that allows me to outspeed and I take it out. Sparky comes out next and I blast it down to yellow, but it's able to paralyze me and then heals from its Citrus Berry. After After that, we trade blows, both going down to yellow. And in a panic, I swap to Frieza, making a huge blunder. Now I'm screwed if confusion doesn't kill here. And yeah, it did like no damage and Frieza 6 joins her siblings. After that, Light cleans up the fight and we get our third badge. But it doesn't really matter. With only one Pokemon, I don't have enough experience to work with, so I'm forced to reset. One unimportant run later, and we arrive back in Mauville City, once again ready to face Wattson. But this time both Light and Frieza have the ability to synchronize, so I can abuse that trick twice. I have Frieza deal with the Voltorb and Electrike, and then when Magneton comes out, Light spams recover, out-healing its damage, and eventually taking it out. Now Watson's just down to his ace, but I actually have a plan this time. Light uses Thief and steals his Citrus Berry, and with 2 crits back to back, we avenge run 6. After some plot and a lot of traveling, we can finally catch our third team member. Welcome to the squad, Dio the Soul Rock. Speaking of plot, there's a lot more of it, and now we have to face Maxi for the first time. He leads with a really big Poochyena, which scares the shit out of me until I remember Dark type is special in this game, and my Diana has pathetic stats. I mean, it's barely a threat, right? What? Never mind. With Light killed, Frieza's forced to take out the Vile Pup with Shockwave, losing most of her HP in the process. After slaying a blind bat, Maxi's true monster comes out, and it tears through my entire team, making this our 8th loss. So after doing everything all over again, I find myself staring Maxi down with true hatred. This time, I lead with Frieza 8, and I get super lucky when the oversized Poochyena uses 2 sand attacks, letting me set up Calm Mind and using a free Shockwave. A few Shockwaves later, and Frieza just soloed the Mutt, and the blind bat once again dies without moving. And now I have almost a fully healed team to face the Murder Cow. Frieza hits it with a massive Psychic, but I deny her the ace and swap the Dio to end the fight. After a little more plot, we move on and catch our 4th member, Miriam the Spoink, and our 5th member, Hisoka the Wobbuffet. And with our team barely under the level cap, we can now take on Flannery. She's one of the scariest gym leaders in any Nuzlocke. This Torkoal has crushed countless hopes and dreams. She truly is a run killer. But not this time. Yeah, Frieza just sets up Calm Mind and sweeps her entire team with Psychic because she outspeeds all of them. So after that exciting battle, we can face the 5th gym leader, Norman, the only father worse than mine. And instead of going to therapy, I decided to take my anger out by evolving Light and then nuking this poor Spinda. I then swap the Dio and trade blows with Vigoroth. Oh, holy shit, that was close. After getting Dio the hell out of harm's way, I send in the most annoying Pokemon known to man, but my jerk of a dad won't even give me the satisfaction of abusing this cursed blob. Instead, I'm forced to lower Slacking's attack with Charm and then swap to Frieza to win the battle with a few Psychics. After beating Norman, I realize I don't feel any better about my daddy issues, and I begin to spiral. If you ever feel unwanted or unloved like this, or just need someone to talk to, make sure to check out BetterHelp. Okay, I don't actually have a sponsor, but it would have been funny, right? So after burying my feelings deep inside like a true Sigma, I make a quick stop in Mauville City, where Wattson asks me to turn the power off in some abandoned power plant. So I make my way into a strange cave, where I find possibly the strangest security system ever. After flipping literally every switch, I finally find the one that turns the power off, so I can make my way back to talk to Wattson. Good job, son. As a thanks, take this TM. Thanks, Dad. What? Nothing? So after running away in embarrassment, I teach Surf to my HM slave and make my way across the region where I encounter the final boss once again, more plot, and a poorly done rival fight. Man, we are speeding through this game. It's already time to face YO? Oh, hell no. After being minorly inconvenienced by an invisible lizard, I decided to truly begin my villain arc by exterminating every Kecleon I can find, especially that one. So after my unaliving spree, we can face Wyona, the flying gym leader. And yeah, I just set up Calm Mind and swept with Thunderbolt. This might end up being a trend. So with only 2 more badges to go, we must be close to finishing, right? Yeah, except for the insane amount of story we have to blast through just to get there. Like climbing Mount Pyre just to realize both orbs are stolen. Flying to Slateport just to realize Team Aqua stole a submarine. Chasing them to their secret hideout in Lily Cove just for them to escape right after you get there. And after all that, I still have to fight Team Magma. But before that, let's talk about our new team members. I caught Doflamingo the Xatu in the Safari Zone. I also caught Caesar the Chimecho on Mount Pyre. And with Yawn, it's actually kind of useful. And last but not least, I caught Madara the Baltoy, who I technically could have caught right after battling Flannery. Yeah, sorry about that, little dude. Oh yeah, I also caught Griffith the Staryu, but I can't evolve it yet, so yeah! Now it's time to take on these Pangea-loving fascists. I completely smashed my way through all the grunts, barely breaking a sweat. Okay, that's actually a complete lie. It's really hot in here. And speaking of hot, look at that sleeping beauty. Maxi, you know it's not nice to stare at people while they sleep. You know, it's actually quite rude. See, you scared it off. Man, I guess I'm gonna have to teach you some manners. Maxi leads with yet another evil, vile, putrid, and downright diabolical Mightyena. So, I decided to purify it with some fire. Sadly, Dio has pathetic special attack, so it didn't do a lot of damage. And now he's confused, but at least it made him stronger. I decided to keep Dio out and use Rock Throw, which doesn't do nearly as much damage as expected, but what can I say, I'm greedy. So I try to finish it off with another hit, but before I can, Maxi heals up, and I hit myself in confusion. So at this point, I finally decided to swap out, bringing in Madara. And the filthy Dork type uses Swagger again, but Madara hits through with his Sharingan. Okay, I know. I promise I won't make that joke again. Because Madara hits himself in confusion twice after that. So now I swap him out, this time bringing in Frieza, who finally takes the damn dog out with Thunderbolt. Next up is Crobat, but with Frieza holding the Twisted Spoon, that I spent hours farming off of a wild Abras, by the way. Her Psychic is able to send the poor bat into the Shadow Realm. And now it's time to face the Murder Cowl once again. But sadly, Frieza can't survive a hit, so I pivot to Madara, fearing an Earthquake, and I get a little greedy keeping Madara in, but he does like no damage. And I'm immediately punished for it. Hump Day over here decides to set up Amnesia. At least I think that's what it's called. I can't really remember. So with Maxi's Cal forgetting something every turn, I decide my best option is to spam Mud Slap. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but I'm really just looking for the accuracy drops. And surprisingly, my stupid plan works. After spamming a whole lot of Mud Slaps, Madara is able to finish off the Cal with a Hyper Beam, and he never got hit in the process. Man, Maxi is really giving me some trouble in this challenge. He's been harder than the past 3 gym leaders combined. So after playing the One Piece Simulator for a few hours, I finally arrive at Moss Deep City to face my truest rival. I'm here to show Tate and Liza that this region's not big enough for 2 Psychic type masters. I meant 3. I meant 3. Whatever, let's just battle. I lead with Frieza and Caesar, and after carefully battling through the inside of Mount Pyre, I was able to get the TM for Shadow Ball. And I taught it to Frieza just for this moment. Too bad I forgot Ghost type is physical in this game, and that shit did like no damage. So I decided to use Yawn as a backup plan. On the next turn, Frieza hits Xatu with Shadow Ball, and even lowers its special defense. Awesome game design. So after complaining a little bit, I set up Reflect, and Quaidol falls asleep. I then use Yawn on Xatu, and then swap to Hisoka and Miriam. Taking the Quaidol out will counter. I then set up a light screen and confuse the already sleeping Xatu, because you can never have too much insurance. After that, I swap in Light to take care of Soul Rock and Xatu, and that leaves Lunatone all by itself. Light finishes the job, winning us the battle, and proving my psychic dominance. But my excitement is immediately cut short by the reminder of how much plot I still have to go through. So now it's time for a boss battle with the final boss, but he's on my team. Steven's AI is notoriously bad in this fight, and Maxi's team has beaten us before, so I made sure to come into this fight fully prepared to lose someone. But instead, I actually just spammed Rock Slide, and I don't know why, but it just kept working. I won the battle without taking any damage. So I guess it's back to One Piece Simulator, where we find a Water Stone, and now we can finally evolve Griffith. Also, did you guys know that Starmie actually has a single level up move? Yeah, it's Confuse Ray, and Staryu doesn't learn it for some reason. I don't know why. I was under the impression that Stone evolutions couldn't learn any moves. So you could say I was pretty confused when I learned that. Anyways, back to the plot. Archie's trying to take control of Kyogre, so I show up and try to stop him. Dio takes Archie's big Poochyena out without taking any damage, and then after an annoying amount of self-damage, I swap the Frieza to take out his Crobat. His Sharpedo comes out next, and it's a serious problem for my team. I decided to go for a crazy Hail Mary by swapping to Dio and praying he can hit Solar Beam through the confusion. And holy shit, it actually killed? Nice job. Now, like the sore loser Archie is, he still tries to go through with his evil plan, but just like Maxi, he fails to control Kyogre, putting the region in a terrible natural disaster, blah, blah, blah. Ancient Pokemon, blah, blah, blah. Go find the green one, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, you get it, you've played it. So after finding the giant green thing your mom keeps in her nightstand, it gets the 2 ancient Pokemon to back off and go back to sleep forever. And the world was saved. Woohoo, the game's over. Just kidding, we still have a whole gym badge to get. So after solving my 8-year-old self's worst nightmare, we can finally take on Wallace. Oh yeah, it's Juan. Let's just get this over with. I came with a pretty solid plan. I set up with Frieza and one shot with Thunderbolt. I even gave her a Prison Berry in case Loveless uses Sweet Kiss. Okay. Well, now I can't risk setting up anymore, so I had to take out Love Disc. But thank God the stupid AI reads Taunt as a super effective move against Frieza. So it sends in Crawdaunt, sealing our victory. I'm able to use one more Calm Mind and then take it out. And with +2 special attack, Psychic does just enough damage to take out Wish Cash, who I had 0 answers for. And with the funny mustache fish out of the way, the rest of Juan's team quickly falls. I know I'm speeding through these battles, but so far it's been pretty easy. It's almost like I should ban setup moves. So with our 8th gym badge acquired, and the game feeling pretty easy since the 4th gym, I realized this attempt is actually deathless, and I plan on keeping it that way. I mean, only half the Elite Four is super effective against us. What could go wrong? So after bullying Wally one last time, I make some last minute stops, and most importantly, I grab the magnet from the puzzle house. This is going to help me kill 8 Pokemon who hate Thunderbolts. So with all my preparations out of the way, it's time to end this challenge. Sydney's up first, and this battle's going to test how far we've truly come. Will my second types prove themselves, or will we struggle like we have before? Well, it looks like things won't be so easy. He leads with a vile, putrid, and downright diabolical Mightyena, but Frieza's not going to hold back. I set up a light screen because, Dark is still special in this game, and I actually get lucky because the Demon Mud just kicks some sand around. After that, I decided to take the Basset out as quick as I can, but a magnet boosted Thunderbolt just isn't enough, and Frieza's hit by a powerful double edge. After that, Sydney wastes a full restore because the second Thunderbolt brings him back to yellow, but sadly the third one does miss, and Frieza takes a massive hit. But on the next turn, she rids the world of this dirty dog. Next up is Shiftery, but I planned for this. I send out Doflamingo for a safe swap, while the ninja uses Double Team. Well, like I said, I planned for this. I taught Doflamingo Aerial Ace for this very moment. Unfortunately, it used Swagger to confuse me, and I in fact did not plan for that. But you know what? Planning's for suckers. suckers. Doflamingo just snapped out of confusion on the second turn, and now its buffed attack is able to take the ninja tree out. And then he immediately kills this dude Scarecrow. After that, Sydney sends out his ace. Disgusted by the sight of this deformed Mightyena, Doflamingo takes it down to yellow with an aerial ace. After that, a shock of fear washes over me when it uses Swords Dance and then heals up with its Citrus Berry. Now I'm in trouble. After going over all my options, I decided to swap to Hisoka, who survives the rock slide. But now I'm really worried because I realize I have to risk the crit. I click counter and hope for the best. Whew. And like that, we just beat the first Elite Four. Oh yeah, I forgot this thing. I swap the Griff and take it out with a Thunderbolt. And just like that, we beat the first Elite Four member, Sydney. Next up is Phoebe, who thankfully leads with a Dusclops who loves using Protect. So it allows me to set up Reflect for free, and then I take it out with 2 Psychics. When her Bayonetta comes out, I get greedy and use a Calm Mind, but Shadow Ball does way more damage than I expected, and our Reflect ends. But Frieza still outspeeds and takes the little dude out. But now I'm in a tough situation. Her ace is pretty powerful, and without Reflect, it can tear through most of my team. So my best option is to risk a crit and set up another Reflect. Whew, am I lucky or what? And now I'm able to safely switch to Hisoka, who eats a Shadow Ball like it's nothing. Unfortunately, I didn't think about the fact that counter is a fighting type move. So, change of plans. I spam Charm twice, bringing his attack to -4, which now makes Ice Beam its highest damaging move. So now I can use Mirror Coat, bringing it down to half and triggering the Citrus Berry. But sadly, the Reflect wore off, so I use Charm once again, taking this annoying bastard down to -6, and then blast him with another Mirror Coat, taking him down to red. And then I swap the Light to finish the job. Oh, he's at full HP. Okay, things could be better. I've already risked a bunch of crits, and now it looks like I'll have to do it again. Whew, okay, thank God. One Psychic finishes the job, and then Phoebe sends out Sableye. But Light still can't do much to Dark types, so I swap the Doflamingo, who takes a massive hit going down below half before healing from its Citrus Berry. I know I outspeed, but things are still looking bad. So I decided to go for a Confuse Ray, hoping it loses a turn. No, oh, yeah, he literally survived on 1 HP, but it's not enough. I still need to get a wish off so I can heal up Hisoka. Oh my God, he actually hurt himself? Okay, I'm getting you out of here, buddy. Don't worry. Just kidding. A true villain knows when to throw away a pawn, but at least his death allowed Griffith to win the battle. With normally the easiest part of the Elite Four behind us, it's time to let it snow. Get it? Like Frozen? Glacia leads with our first Celio, who sets up Hail. So I take this opportunity to use a Calm Mind, and with my buffed up special attack, a single Thunderbolt easily cooks the Water Dog. After doing some calcs, I realize this Glalie is actually kind of scary, but I get lucky and take it out with a single Psychic. After that, Glacia sends out her second Frieza wannabe, and this one is scary. It even knows Shadow Ball. So I set up a Reflect and tank the hit. After that, I swapped my own weird floating rock, who then drops even more rocks than her floating rock. Try saying that 5 times fast. After that, the icy rock is left with 1 HP. Oh no, the rock's back to full HP. Oh no, it's dead. At least my rock's fine. And now the real threat comes out. So I swap the Griffith, who takes a Surf and then confuses the big bitch. So yeah, not only did I lose the coin flip, but the 30% insta-kill hit too. Rest in peace, you little frisbee. After that, I decided to send in Hisoka to lower Walreign's attack with Charm, but I immediately realized how big of a mistake this was when it uses Sheer Cold again. But thankfully it missed. I decided to commit to the plan and use Mirror Coat. And I got lucky. It used Surf, and Mirror Coat brought it down to red before healing with its own Citrus Berry. I am in crit range now, but I've dodged so many, and I don't have many options. So I click Mirror Coat one more time and hope for the best. And it paid off. This run is going strong. Right lights Celio's name in the Death Book, and we win our 3rd Elite Four match. So now it's time to battle Lance. Wait, no. I meant Drayden? No. Hassel? Wait, don't tell me. Iris? So Claire leads with a Shelgon, and you know the drill by now. I led with Frieza and set up a Reflect. Unfortunately, it does lower my speed with Rock Tomb, but I decided to stick to the plan and set up exactly 2 Calm Minds. After that, I blast the tire into space with Psychic, and Drasna sends out Flygon. With Reflect still up, its Earthquake doesn't do much damage, and it too falls to Frieza's Psychic. And as if on cue, the ace comes out on the same turn Reflect ends. But with a Citrus Berry, Frieza can live a hit and then take this thing out. Oh, okay, that's not good. I decided to hope for a low roll and use Psychic once again, and it looks like the luck is back on my side. Once the Salamence misses, Frieza picks up her 3rd knockout, and Rahan sends out his Altaria. So it's finally time to swap out. I send a Dio basically for free, and then click Rock Slide. But then I see the scariest move in all of Pokemon, Dragon Dance. I do regain a bit of my confidence when Rock Slide connects, especially after the bird's HP drops to red. After that, Xena proceeds to heal stall me, and then paralyzes Dio with Dragon Breath. But through all the odds, he doesn't miss a single hit, and even hits through Para. You thought it was RNG who won this fight, but no, it was me, Solrock. So now with Kingdra out, I'm forced to switch to Hisoka. And because this thing is a mixed attacker, I opt to use Encore and then Mirror Coat, tanking a few surfs, and bringing the fish down to red. After that, I swapped a Light, who thankfully doesn't get crit, and even outspeeds, sealing our victory against, Larry? Now with only the Elite Four behind us, and poetically only 4 members of our team standing, it's time to face our toughest match yet, against the strongest trainer in the region, Champion Steve. Oh yeah, it's you. Okay, let's get this over with. Not Steven leads with his super tanky Wailord, and you guessed it, I led with my starter Frieza. After going over my options, I knew I could set up a few calm minds and then sweep his entire team with a magnet boosted Thunderbolt. But tragedy strikes in the form of a crit, and just like that, I lost my starter. Critical hits are a big part of the game, so I can't be mad. I mean, honestly, I've been due for a while, but I am officially in panic mode. I send in Light in hopes he can finish off the big boy, but he falls short and ends up taking massive damage from Double Edge. The recoil does take it out, but now things are looking dire. Tentacruel comes out next, and I thought this was a good thing, but it somehow survives a Psychic and takes Light out with a Hydro Pump. And after that, the battle is lost, but I do decide to play it out. Dio quickly falls to 2 Hydro Pumps, but Ahsoka is able to finish the job. But to add insult to injury, he gets poisoned and Ludicolo spams double team until he can guarantee the kill with Surf. And just like that, attempt 9 has failed like all the runs before it. I guess it's on to attempt 10.
Or you could just push upon me for another chance.
Who said that? Jirachi? I can't. I need to beat the game the right way. I'm not a cheater.
Oh, come now. Like you said before, you already paid for the thumbnail.
Huh, I guess you're right. So after finally embracing my villain arc and sacrificing that shiny Poochyena to Jirachi, I was able to blast through the Elite Four with the team I had left. Well, mostly Jirachi. And now it's time to get revenge on the champion no one wanted. Wallace sends out his fat boy once again, but this time things are different. Oh yeah, also Madara died. Rest in peace, I guess. Jirachi's Thunderbolt brings Wailord down to yellow, and its Blizzard misses. I'm not holding back this time. I set up 4 Calm Minds in Jirachi, and then use Wish, so I can heal up the little damage fat boy did. After that, Jirachi stops playing with its food and kills it with Thunderbolt. The Mustache Fish comes out next, and my wish comes true once again, healing Jirachi back to full HP. But it really didn't matter. Jirachi outspeeds and sweeps Wallace's entire team. Not feeling satisfied with my victory, I decided to take it a step further by ordering Jirachi to take out the trainer who beat me. You gotta be kidding. Of all times. After fleeing the scene, I go into hiding at my mom's, but I know I can't stay here much longer. I have to take out the only trainer strong enough to stop me. But first, to beat him, I steal a Pokemon from his house. Welcome our final member, Vicious. After force feeding my Pokemon performance enhancing drugs and giving Jirachi a more fitting name, I embark on a journey to take out the last trainer who can stop me, the true champion, Steven. He reads a Skarmory, who would normally be a problem, but not for pride. Thunderbolt brings the absurdly heavy bird down to red. After that, Steven gets a free switch into Claydol on the next turn, and in return, I swap the Caesar to use Yawn to put it to sleep. After that, I swap the Vicious, but unfortunately, the Claydol immediately woke up. I should have just repeated the process, but instead I let those 2 monsters brawl. They use Earthquakes and Meteor Mashes over and over, until I foolishly missed that the Reflex Caesar setup wore off, allowing Claydol to kill Vicious in his first ever battle. Not my best moment. In a bit of a panic, I send in Miriam, who takes massive damage from Earthquake, and then misses Iron Tail. So, I swap the Caesar again, put it to sleep, and set up Reflect, like I should have the first time. This allows Miriam to finally take out the floating bastard. And then Steven makes his biggest blunder, sealing his fate like all the fools before him. He sends out Cradily and then uses Ingrain. So I take full advantage. I swap the Caesar to put the plant monster to sleep, and then swap the Pride, and you guessed it, I set up Calm Mind, making Pride unstoppable. Psychic after Psychic, Thunderbolt after Thunderbolt. Like dominoes, Steven's team fell, and like that, I became the most powerful trainer in the entire world. So, can I beat Pokemon Emerald with only Psychic types? Kinda.